Welcome to Goreski's Resort on Skugog Lake in Port Perry, Ontario. Goreski's Resort is part of the Parkbridge Resorts chain. They have campgrounds located throughout Ontario. This particular campground is one of their larger ones. About 2 years ago, we were commissioned by Parkbridge to take a look at this campground because it had been in the Goreski name for over 40 years. A lot of their lakeshore, as such, had the old style boathouses which went over top of the docks. They were starting to get in disrepair and fall down that. The shoreline as well was getting a lot of erosion. So we sat down and took a look at it with how we could create a new marina. Later on, we come up with a basic design for them, which they approved. They started to apply for all the various permits. We joined up with Drain Brothers Excavating out of Norwood, Ontario for the project. We brought Drain Brothers in. They basically took all the old buildings down. As you can see, they're all along the shoreline, both shorelines all around. They basically dug up the shoreline, put filter cloth down, put riprap stone in. So basically it would stop a lot of the erosion and be environmentally friendly. They dredged the entire area out. There was a lot of mud in here. It was about 3 feet of depth. We took it down to 5 feet of depth. And then we installed a new dock system. The new dock system is all aluminum. It's a commercial style aluminum. It has our torque tube system built into it on foam filled flotation billets. The main advantage of the torque tube system is it makes a 4-foot wide dock have the stability of a 6-foot wide dock. For basically a floating dock, as you know, rotates as such because of the structure of it. With a torque tube, that locks the dock altogether, so it won't torque as much as a normal one. This particular marina has over 160 slips for a variety of sizes of boats. As you can see, some down there are up to 30 feet, down to your pontoon boats, your fishing boats. Over here as such, there's where we keep all the various watercraft like your PWCs. There's special drive-on ramps for them up there. So they took an old marina basically and made it into something that was new and useful. The shoreline in this particular project was designed by Drain Brothers from Norwood, having riprap along the shoreline with filter cloth beside. A lot of the marinas, and that as such, will use concrete walls or big armor stone, which really hardens the shoreline. With the riprap, it is a more natural sort of setting. It does prevent the erosion as such. This rock stays down. Any wave action can't get back through because there's filter cloth behind it. One thing that we've actually found surprising, I always knew the fish liked rocks and that as such, but since we've torn the old marina down, got rid of the old docks, the old buildings and that as such, and put the riprap shoreline in, the residents of the campground here said they have seen a significant increase in the amount of crappie, and actually there's a lot of carp here now, but all in through the docks. They said other years there has never been this many fish floating around with the rocks and that as such, so obviously the way they designed it and did it worked very well for the fish habitat. We held the docks out from the shoreline, basically so the floats will not touch the riprap stone. We came down with steel pilings, which we drove in to the bottom as such, put a plate on. That's a small permanent dock. Then from that we went with a small ramp which will go up and down as the water goes up and down to allow for various float heights. And they're attached by a hinge plate into the main stringer, covered over with a plate so you don't trip over it. All our fingers, full length, are joined into this main walkway. That actually gives us stability in the design of the system as well. We put handrails for anybody coming on that's not sure until they get out onto the ramp to keep them from falling off and that. All the floats in the docks are all foam filled, so if you get a little hole in them, they won't sink and that as such. All our decking is held down by these strips and that as such, which basically locks the decking into place and that as such. It allows if one board or something is damaged, it can easily be just removed, changed out and put back in as such. We have heavy duty connection plates which are built right in as such. That also stops a lot of the torquing as well, but it adds a lot of strength. That enables us to hold larger boats on smaller docks. This plate here runs full length of the ramp, and then it ties back into the dock. So it's an integrated system, so everything works together. In a lot of the campground marinas and the larger marinas that we've been designing lately, there's been a real need for docks and storage for personal watercraft. There's a lot of them come on the market now. They're kind of the up and coming thing. The only problem with personal watercraft is they're small, they're light, they bounce around in the wind and waves a lot. What we've done in this particular case is we've taken the same design, a system we used at the other part of the marina, and we've incorporated the wave port design, drive on PWC lifts where they can just drive up on, hook them up, and then push them back off and away they go. These go up and down as the water level changes, as with the dock, and we can keep adding for however many we need. It's a good way to protect the customer's PWCs, and it's a revenue-based stream for the campground or the marina. All of our docks at Goreski's Marine in Port Perry here are anchored to the bottom by a series of big cement pads with half-inch galvanized anchor chains. They're easily adjustable. There's a system here whereby, just like a key lock system, where you pull it up and you can adjust it if the water goes up or adjust if the water goes down. The chains are kept at an X-type formation, basically to give you stability, and it helps actually hold in case of a wind. One will go tight. If it goes the other way, the other will go tight. This is another area of the marina which had an existing sheet pile seawall with a concrete top. There was no use tearing it out because it was in good shape and that as such. The erosion can't get in behind and that as such. So what we did in this case was we welded a steel plate on, put a hinge assembly so our ramp takes off in there. It's level here so people don't trip on it, and it can fluctuate up and down as the water goes up and down. We tried to design a whole total new system, whole total new marine where everything is new. The residents apparently have enjoyed it. They like the looks of the money Park Bridge has put into it. It shows that they're just constantly upgrading their resorts. On behalf of R&J Machine and Drain Brothers Excavating out of Norwood, I'd like to thank you for letting us take this opportunity to show us one of our latest projects at Goreski's in Port Perry, Ontario. Thank you very much.